Top of the league. Top of the league. Best team in the world. What is up, everyone? My name is Ty Roeder, host of the Verde and Black Show here on YouTube with your in-depth analysis and look at all things Austin FC. And man, feels so good. Not only did we get a road win, but we got a road win against the top team in the Western Conference to put ourselves into first place. FC Dallas lost, which means no one is above us. No one. Not a single person. We also lead MLS in points currently at 23, tied with LAFC. And we went on the road and won a game without Danny Pereira. What is happening? Oh my goodness. I don't know about you guys, but I predicted an LAFC win 2-1. I thought we would get on the scoreboard. I just felt like LAFC might be too much. And I was hoping that I was wrong. And I was. All right, let's first start off. Stuver, so nice to have him back. Tarbell's a good sub, and I think he showed that, there is competition, maybe not necessarily like to replace Stuver, but Stuver needs to keep his A game. And oh my goodness, he did such a good job last night. Kolmanic and Lima on the outside backs. Kolmanic had a decent game. I thought Lima looked a little shaky throughout, not gonna lie. Valencia, I think, was a good fill-in for Pereira. I'm never gonna say, I would put Valencia over Pereira, because I think Pereira just brings a different element to the game that no one on this team, even Driussi, brings. But I thought he did his job. He was very serviceable, and I think that's important. I was skeptical of Owen Wolf coming in and starting his first MLS game against probably the best team in MLS, definitely the best team we faced this season. And while he was a little, nervous, I could tell at the beginning of the game, I thought he settled in very nicely. He wasn't really making drastic mistakes, and that can't be said for Ethan Finley or even Rodney Redes. So look out. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts again on Sunday. I mean, why change a winning formula? And it's not like, nothing against Finley or Redes, but they're not providing anything. And if Wolf can do the job, at least let's get him some minutes. He can run. He's very good, under pressure. He doesn't seem like it was his first MLS game. I think after the first 10, 15 minutes, once he settled and found himself. But yeah, I mean, Gabrielson with that goal. Let's go. I was very harsh on Gabrielson for his defending at the beginning of the season as he was coming back from injury, and I felt more comfortable with Kip Keller. Now I'm starting to change the tide on Gabrielson. Yes, he did score. Obviously, I don't really think that's part of his game, to be honest. But he kind of, faked out the LAFC defenders inside the box. He double clutched his shot, and I think it worked out for him. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little underwhelmed at LAFC. Maybe we're just a lot better of a team than I thought, or maybe LAFC, had an off night. I don't know. I mean, they definitely had their chances, but I think this game shows that we can hang with anyone. I mean, we went on the road, which, has been a disaster over the past, season and a half since we started as a team last year. And we took it to them. I mean, we were in it throughout the entire game. Granted, they had more shots. I felt like what ultimately set us apart is we capitalized on our chances. So Gabrielson got us on the board quite early, and I felt like that was really important in order to set us up for the rest of the game and not having to put a lot of onus on coming from behind or even playing that 0-0 draw. Fagundes probably should have made it 2-0. He hit that upper crossbar there from that feed from Driussi, and I mean, Driussi he's so fun to watch. He is so good. I'm so happy we have him. I mean, MVP right now, not even a doubt. There's no question. I mean, I know he hasn't scored in He's not scoring like he was at the beginning of the season, but I mean, his playmaking ability with Fagundes is just immaculate, and it's so fun to watch. So yeah, I mean, we go into halftime 1-0. The thing that I was worried about was that Wolf was going to park the bus way too early, like we've seen him do in the past, and he did it, and it was so exciting to see. I know we brought on. We brought on Kip Keller, to kind of shore up our back line. Gallagher replaced Kolmanich. Kip Keller replaced Nick Lima, almost to have a 5-back with 3 center backs. And that was in the 75th minute. I mean, I am totally okay with parking the bus for 15 minutes. Now, when you park the bus at the 60th minute, we have a problem, because parking the bus and not really creating any momentum or offense for 30 minutes is very tough, especially an LAFC team. Now, I think we did a tremendous job, and I credit Wolf so much for this, for saying, okay, we're up 1-0, 75th minute. Rather than try to let's go get a second goal, we didn't need a second goal. We were already up 1-0. I felt like he did the right thing and tried to park the bus and really prevent them from creating any chances. One of the things that I did want to touch on that I think we all saw in the first half, we love playing out of the back. Granted, it works sometimes. Other times it looks so horrendous. And I guess we're going to live and die by it, because regardless of what I say, obviously I don't have an influence, but we turn the ball over within our third, it feels like, so many times per game, and we're just waiting for the other team to capitalize. We've gotten lucky quite a few times, and so that's concerning for me. I think the frustrating thing for me is with turning the ball over inside our own third and playing out of the back, is when it happens and we lose the ball, we don't necessarily try to change anything. And I think that's a blessing and a curse. We're so bought into what Wolf is trying to do from playing out of the back that sometimes when it's not working, we still continue to do it, and that part is frustrating. Luckily, it wasn't a real piece of this match. I think it could have been. So that's a little nugget there. In the 80th minute, I mean, Fagundes, he easily could have played it to Finley, but he decided to take the shot, and I don't blame him. I mean, the LAFC defenders were backing off of him, and he just has to whip that ball in, curled it to that corner for that goal. And I mean, we're sitting pretty. It's 2-0 in the 80th minute. We've already parked the bus, and we scored a second goal. I mean, you could tell LAFC was going for it. They were really trying to get back into the game. I don't blame Stuver for that penalty. I mean, granted, he went to the ground and didn't really get the ball. It was kind of a soft penalty. Vela knew what he was doing and used his trail legs to kind of come from behind to get that penalty. I think that's something Stuver probably, when he was healthy before his injury, probably makes contact with the ball. I think coming back from injury, kind of his spatial awareness might have been just a tad off. But yeah, I mean, we snuck out the win. Now we're back home against Orlando City. I mean, I'm just so happy and pleased with the performance, especially without Pereira. I mean, let's not forget, outside of Driussi, I think Pereira and Fagundes can make both of them are having, I don't want to say MVP-like caliber, but I would say top 10 in the league type performances this season. So to not have them and still sneak out this victory just feels so great, and I think it'll build such momentum. I think this was the biggest victory of Austin FC's short time in MLS. It's not a lot of games that have been played, but by far our biggest win, without a doubt. Going into LAFC, who I think many people probably have slated to possibly win MLS Cup this year, and getting that victory is nice. And hopefully, we'll carry that momentum against Orlando City, against LA Galaxy. When LAFC comes back, it's going to be a wicked rematch. So my players of the game were Fagundes. I just felt like he was on top of it, but I don't put him above. I put him at the same par as Brad Stuver. It felt so good and it feels great to know that our goalkeeper is, playing at such a high level. Especially, you think when you come back from a game, you might have a little, rust or like I was saying, the spatial awareness, and I think we saw it there. But for the most part, I mean, he was making save after save after save, point blank, and that's all you can really ask of Stuver. And yeah, so yeah, Stuver and Fagundes. I know I'm talking really fast. I'm really excited. It's exciting times here in Austin FC. I don't really have a lot of negatives. I know I touched on kind of the playing out at the back, but it was nice to see Kip Keller get in. I mean, we even got in Finley. I think we all knew that Finley was probably going to replace Wolf. I think that's probably going to be the substitution moving forward. Whoever starts, Wolf or Finley, the other one will come on probably in like the 60th minute, 66th minute, depending on how the game is going. But yeah, I mean, it's a great time to be an Austin FC supporter. Happy with where things have been. Happy with Wolf and how he coached that game. He outcoached Steve Cherundolo, point blank. I mean, I don't know. I'm so giddy. It's exciting. I'll see most of you at Q2 Stadium this weekend, and hopefully we can secure another 3 points. Let's go, Listos.